heart just starts pounding.
I've been dreaming of this day for so long.
Whoa!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh! Wow! Ah!
Survivor 44 was hyped up ever since the first promo of the season, and it was obvious from day one this was a close group of players as they all watched that promo together during the Survivor 43 finale. This was without a doubt one of the craziest Survivor promos for a new season we have ever seen, especially when you consider it was a promo hyping up a season of all newbie players.
Everybody stop! Medical, come in.
We had the drama with Jeff telling everyone to stop the challenge. We had the intrigue with an unknown player at the time starting the promo falling off a rock. We had our first look at the mysterious birdcage hidden immunity idol. And most important of all, the overall story of Survivor 44. We had our first look at this bizarre and wacky group of players.
Can't wait to see Jeff. I can't wait to not eat.
So the goal of this video is to examine Survivor Season 44 in its entirety so you can come to your own conclusion about whether the title of the best new era Survivor season is justified or deserved.
Survivor is back.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Survivor Retrospective. Whoa, it feels weird to say that again. If you're finding my channel for the first time or started watching my content recently, this YouTube channel started with what I called Survivor Retrospective. I set out with a goal to analyze, critique, and reflect on every single season of Survivor, and in the process give every season a ranking. This turned into a grueling daily process leading into Survivor 41. Good news is that if you're interested in checking out the entire Survivor Retrospective series after this video is complete, I have made a playlist containing all the videos in the description. Anyways, with all that said, let's get into it.
So I'm just like talking?
Yeah, to me. Just pretend it's just you and I shooting the bull.
About what? I just saying who I am?
Yeah, I'm Carolyn.
The hype and excitement surrounding the release of Survivor 44 was felt with hesitation from the fanbase and for obvious good reason. Sure, the old saying will always hold true, and Survivor is a lot like pizza. Whenever it's bad, it's still pretty good. Well, I don't know about you, but I would much rather prefer a good slice of pizza over a bad slice of pizza. That's exactly my overall thoughts on the new era of Survivor, which low-key kinda sucks because I love this show so freaking much. The community was jumping up and down with excitement for Survivor 41 because the show is finally returning from its COVID break, only to be left wondering what Survivor had turned into. Although Survivor 42 would make some much needed changes to the final product and pacing of the episodes, the same wonky flaws were present in the final product. On the other side of things, Survivor 43 was gaining traction with the promise with less hourglasses and do or die moments, but we were greeted with the same issues of an overabundance of idols and advantages. So the question really comes down to maybe the Survivor fanbase was running out of steam to hype up another new season that would probably just end up the same way. I must say Survivor 44 was a breath of fresh air in the new era of Survivor. Although it's always terrifying when Jeff Probst overhypes up a new season, I think he knew we had something special with this group of players, which is low-key a disrespect on the cast of players we had already received for Survivor 41, 42, and 43. As if there's one thing that's certain in the new era of Survivor, it's the casting department that's hit it out of the park each and every time. The issue comes down to the twists and advantages getting in the way of the players doing what they do best, and that's playing the game of Survivor. Today's video is all about praising the success of Survivor 44, while at the same time critiquing its flaws and what was missing. Oh yeah, we are also giving away a Survivor puzzle at the very end of the video. So the question is, what went wrong with Survivor 44?
You have also found a silver coin that has absolutely no power. What you do with it is totally up to you.
I'm gonna be fully honest, before making this video, I've been going back and forth with how I wanted to rank Survivor 44. I'll be adding Survivor 44 to my rankings at the end of the video, and this is how I rank all 43 seasons of Survivor together, and when just thinking about the new era of Survivor, I believe 42 is the best, followed by 43, and finally 41. But the question is, where does Survivor Season 44 belong within these rankings?
Make my game or break my game, but at least I'm playing for me.
The marketing for Survivor 42 was so awkward as the premise was quite simple. Take the same format and twist with a new group of players and see what happens. Everyone hated Survivor 41, so this was a rough way to go into Survivor 42. However, it exceeded expectations and became a much better final product. Although, still with the same issues of 26 days, beware advantages, no swaps, Shipwheel Island, earn the merge, knowledge is power, negotiating with Jeff for Rice, the Survivor Sanctuary, going to a new camp with the Final Five, and the Survivor After Show all come to mind.
Oh my gosh! We got bare necessities! This is the best day of my life!
Going into Survivor 43, we made improvements with removing the hourglass twist, the do or die twist, less Jeff Probst's fourth wall breaking moments, and more rewards for the players. But at the same time, we continue to have confusing winners in the community's eye, with Erica, Marianne, and Gabler hiding in plain sight.
I plan to go underwater again and just chill and then pop back up so I'm not perceived as a threat.
Going back to my rankings within the new era Survivor, I debated placing Survivor 44 above 42, I debated placing it below 42, and finally I debated placing it below 43. As you can see, planning these rankings, I was all over the place, and that's putting together everything I loved about the season with the amazing downtime moments, the Tika 3 controlling the game, the idea of the birdcage idol, and Jam Jam winning Survivor. But it cannot be understated that Survivor 44 also had a ton of problems, like the execution of the birdcage idol, the awkward attempt at implementing a tribe swap into Survivor, and a stretch of multiple episodes where things outside of the player's control was ultimately controlling the game. We are going to be diving deep into all of that to decide our rankings.
Like, we have to stick together. I want to be, like, I want to be a part of your life. Like, okay, so, but we gotta be careful.
The season started out on a strong note of 2 hours of action with only going to tribal council once, meaning we really got to settle down and understand the perspective of so many of the players we would come to enjoy watching for the coming weeks. Although we would still have 2 players removed in the first episode, with Bruce getting medically evacuated out of the game. Obviously, Jeff Probst saw something special in Bruce, and I'm pumped to see him compete next season on Survivor 45.
The $1 million prize.
I'm back, baby.
Let's go!
Little bit of a hot take, or maybe more of a bold claim, but the first episode of Survivor 44 is one of the strongest first episodes of a season in Survivor history. What it comes down to is feeling like a movie from start to finish. Bruce's medical evacuation, Matthew falling off the rock, revealing the birdcage hidden immunity idol, Brandon finding the idol so the audience understands the birdcage, the shot in the dark finally working, the hidden immunity idol being played, and another shot in the dark played as Matthew wanted to stay in the middle on his tribe.
Oh my god.
Is he okay? Is he okay?
These are all things I would view as positives for the season. Well, I mean, it's not a positive that Matthew and Bruce both got injured, but more in the context of an exciting episode of television. Man, was this top tier. However, it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows, as we continue to see the implementation of the sweat versus savvy day one twist, which just feels boring and overused at this point. And we were introduced to a Shipwheel Island adventure that would ultimately lead to nothing later in the season.
Not the advantage. You can choose to draw again, in which case you're risking losing your vote at a sequential tribal council.
And honestly, the rest of the Survivor 44 pre-merge was filled with fun TV moments, but it relied heavily on watching the players interact together to deliver these fun moments, as there were moments that felt like Jeff Probst was putting way too many things into the season. The unfair way of doing a tribe swap, with it being 1 player per tribe and giving them an idol. Obviously, I would much prefer a real full-on tribe swap instead of this, but in contrast, the Survivor Sanctuary reward that Brandon, Danny, and Carolyn all go on together, that makes up for it seeing these players hang out together.
Glad you guys worked it out.
Yeah. I hope you make it through tonight.
They don't even care. It's like I'm not even there. It didn't even matter.
I wanted to work with you anyway.
I was fully locked into moments with fake hidden immunity idols created by the players like Matthew and Josh, or created with the birdcage like Danny and Carolyn. However, a major problem of the season is having these fake idols not lead into anything in the post-merge. The fun part of putting fake idols into Survivor Survivor is the players going up and playing them at Tribal Council. At one point, we had 5 fake hidden immunity idols out in the game for players to find, and somehow none of them ended up getting played. The fact we saw no fake idols getting played doesn't necessarily turn Survivor 44 into a bad season, but it does cause a problem with watching the early parts of the season when you know these fake idols aren't going to lead into anything.
That fake idol
Oh my god!
for you to find.
We also saw a rough stretch of episodes without a conventional Survivor vote out as Matthew was removed from the game, Josh wasn't able to earn the merge, and Matt was taken out in a split tribal situation. But still, with all that in mind, it was the simple moments of the players hanging out in these episodes that made it work.
I mean, he pulls out this freaking fake idol. It's perfect. Game apart.
Although fake idols weren't getting played, we had real ones being used for awesome moments like Danny saving Franny and Carolyn not really saving but kinda saving Carson.
If anybody has an advantage or an idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I'm gonna play this for Carson.
Okay?
For the first time in the new era of Survivor, we actually saw the first major flaw of the finale episode from a format standpoint. Normally, these finale episodes are put together perfectly with non-stop action from start to finish. Not gonna lie, I was disappointed we were teased some sort of advantage throughout the entire first half of the episode, only for no one to ever find the advantage. And Jeff Probst had an obvious disappointed look on his face that the players predicted the change of location going into the final 5 as they brought all the supplies to Tribal Council with them. Obviously, I wasn't the biggest fan of Carolyn receiving 0 votes at the final Tribal Council. However, it does feel so fitting to have her open the season and end the season with a confessional. And that's not in Jeff's control, that's on the players. And as a whole, the players of Survivor 44 were one of the strongest groups of new players in Survivor history. The cast of a Survivor season will make or break a season of Survivor, and these players were what made this season of Survivor for me so special. I found myself craving the downtime moments each passing episode when we could just watch the players hang out and interact together. Jamie's fake idol shenanigans, the Tika 3 alliance, Danny playing hard but not smart, the Survivor showmans of Franny and Matt, and much more. There was so much here to enjoy with this cast of players.
I hate being apart. She is like my rock in this game. It's impossible to describe how important it is.
Talking about Yam Yam, we need to talk about his journey to Sole Survivor and the journey of the Three Stooges Alliance. Once again highlighting the jury will more often than not award the prize of Sole Survivor to the person that is able to explain their game the best at the final Tribal Council. Putting all things together, Yam Yam actually has a pretty impressive Survivor resume. Against all odds, navigating through the merge with the Tika 3 Alliance, winning an individual immunity challenge, having the other players always want to work with him, taking out a player if they ever voted for Yam Yam at Tribal Council.
The betrayal! Dude, we were on the opposite sides. There's no betrayal here. You betray me, I betray you. What's the freaking problem?
With the problems the new era of Survivor has been plagued with having under the radar winners, I actually think the biggest takeaway of the season is Yam Yam's impressive victory. It's the last thing the fanbase will remember after a season ends. So although I don't want an obvious winner for every single season of Survivor, one of my major complaints about last season was not understanding Gabler's win, which gets fixed to perfection here understanding Yam Yam's victory. And you need to turn to Survivor winners like Boston Rob, Tony Vlochos, and Richard Hatch to find Survivor winners that received more confessionals in the season they had won. Probably linking back to the reason why Jeff Probst was so excited and tried to get the fanbase hyped up before the season ever began. Ultimately, Survivor 44 will be remembered by the amazing cast of characters that we got to watch play the game they love, as the entertaining players let me overlook the things that didn't work like the tribe swap and birdcage idol. And a reminder to the Survivor producers that you need to trust your casting team, as when you simply let the players, well, just play the game, magical things will happen. With another Survivor season all wrapped up, that also means we have one more puzzle to give away. We'll be back for more giveaways with Survivor 45, but the final giveaway winner of the season is Xavier. My final rating for Survivor 44 is a 9.0 out of 10, S tier.